हेलो बॉयज़ एंड वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। तो आज हम बात करने वाले हैं पोल्का डॉट की एंड व्हाई आई एम एक्सट्रीमली बुलिश ऑन दिस प्रोजेक्ट एंड व्हाई आई बिलीव इट इज़ अ स्लीपिंग जायंट व्हिच इज़ अबाउट टू एक्सप्लोड एनी टाइम सून। तो इस वीडियो में वी आर गोना टॉक अबाउट द टेक्नोलॉजी, द प्रॉब्लम दैट इट सॉल्व्स एंड द टोकनॉमिक्स बिहाइंड इट and some other reasons as well why I believe that Polkadot will do very well in the coming years and end में हम लोग थोड़ा TA भी कर लेंगे उसका। तो let's get started। थोड़ा सा लंबा वीडियो रहेगा but stick with it। I'm gonna try and explain it in layman's term। तो जिन लोगों ने ये प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में सुना नहीं है या ब्लॉकचेन के बारे में सुना नहीं है पहले, I'm gonna try and explain it from scratch in easy languages। So टेक्निकल टेक्निकली परफेक्ट नहीं रहेगा ये वीडियो बट एक कॉमन पर्सन को समझने में इजी रहेगा, उस लैंग्वेज में मैं बात करने की ट्राई करूंगा। सो प्लीज फॉरगिव मी इफ आई am not technically correct, but the point of the video is to make sure that even a common man understands the tech behind this, because this tech needs to be reached to as many people as possible, and common people need to understand it for mass scale adoption. So let's get started. Polkadot basically एक layer 0 protocol है या layer 0 blockchain है. So before understanding layer 0, we have to understand what layer 1 and layer 2 are. तो लेयर वन प्रोटोकॉल्स हो गए जैसे एग्जांपल इथेरियम, एवलांच, फैंटम, सोलाना। ये सब ब्लॉकचेन्स जो है वो लेयर वन ब्लॉकचेन्स कहलाते हैं। दे आर कॉल्ड एज लेयर वन ब्लॉकचेन्स बिकॉज ऑन टॉप ऑफ दीज ब्लॉकचेन्स एप्लीकेशंस आर बिल्ट। Layer 1 blockchains can be compared with Android और iOS। जैसे Android एक ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम है जिसके ऊपर डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ एप्लीकेशंस बनते हैं, जैसे गेम्स बनते हैं, फाइनेंशियल एप्लीकेशंस बनते हैं और यूटिलिटी एप्लीकेशंस बनते हैं। सो मेनी डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ एप्स आर बिल्ट ऑन टॉप ऑफ एंड्रॉइड एंड iOS। वैसे ही इथेरियम, फैंटम, सोलाना, कार्डानो वगैरह पे अलग अलग टाइप के एप्लीकेशंस बनते हैं एंड दैट इज व्हाई दे आर कॉल्ड एज लेयर वन ब्लॉकचेन्स। So basically layer 1 to recap, compare it with Android और iOS। अभी एग्जाम्पल लो लेयर 2 का। लेयर 2 बेसिकली क्या होता है कि लेयर 2s आर बिल्ट in order to solve the problems of layer 1। Imagine that you have an Android operating system, you build WhatsApp on top of it। Utility बहुत है WhatsApp की and it is the future, right? Imagine 15 years पहले WhatsApp जब नया नया आया था, so तभी फॉर एग्जांपल व्हाट्सएप में आपको एक मैसेज सेंड करने के लिए $50 ट्रांजैक्शन फीस लगेंगे और एक मैसेज सेंड करने को 15 मिनट लगेंगे। सो दैट इज द काइंड ऑफ यूजेबिलिटी विच इज प्रोवाइडेड बाय सम ऑफ द लेयर वंस। फॉर एग्जांपल इथेरियम। इथेरियम में अभी ट्रांजैक्शन फीस बहुत हाई है एंड ऑल्सो द यूजर एक्सपीरियंस इज वेरी 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 पुअर इन सम इंस्टेंसेस एंड इट इज not usable for a common man. That is why on top of Ethereum there are layer 2s made which solve these problems of slow speed and high transaction fees। ये मैंने बहुत शॉर्ट में एक्सप्लेन किया है एंड देयर इज अ लॉट मोर टू अंडरस्टैंड लेयर 1 एंड लेयर 2s, बट सिर्फ इतना समझना है आपको कि लेयर 2s आर बिल्ट सो दैट द प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ लेयर 1s स्पेशली दैट ऑफ इथेरियम कैन बी सॉल्व्ड। Basically the scalability and the speed issues of a layer 1 is solved because of layer 2s। तो layer 0 क्या होता है? Layer 0 you can imagine as something which is made under the Android operating system। So there is a layer under Android on which the whole Android operating system can be built। So basically it is the blockchain of blockchains। तो जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल आप एक लेयर है जिसके ऊपर आप एंड्रॉयड जैसे एक ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम बिल्ड कर सकते हो और ये एंड्रॉयड जैसे ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम पे बहुत सारे डिफरेंट डिफरेंट एप्स बिल्ड हो सकते हैं। सो इट इज दैट लेयर विच इज अंडर द एंड्रॉयड और द iOS। सो हाउ डज Polkadot डू इट? सो Polkadot की टेक्नोलॉजी कुछ ऐसे है। देयर आर सम टर्म्स दैट यू नीड टू रिमेंबर। देयर इज द रिले चेन एंड देयर इज द पैरा चेन। ये जो आपको ग्रे लाइन दिख रही है वो रिले चेन है और ये जो पिंक कनेक्टर्स दिख रहे हैं वो पैरा चेन है। सो द रिले चेन इज बेसिकली it does not have application functionality, it does not support smart contracts, it is only responsible for the security of the whole Polkadot network। तो ये relay chain जो है it takes care of the whole security of the entire network and on top of these relay chains different जो pink वाले दिख रहे हैं आपको different para chains can be connected to this। So वो लोग बोलते हैं कि 100 parachains can be connected to the relay chain at a time and each parachain is basically a blockchain of its own. तो ये जो आपको each parachain जो दिख रहा है पिंक वाला, it is an Android or an iOS of its own. And on top of these, inside these, there will be applications built. And the best part is that the applications built on top of these blockchains or the blockchains itself can communicate and transfer data and assets to each other, which solves the interoperability problem of blockchains. तो ये लोग बोलते हैं blockchains are individually very smart, individually very dumb. Sorry, blockchains are individually very smart but collectively very dumb. That's how the saying goes. So blockchains cannot communicate with each other, and even if they do, the communication is very limited and ineffective. So to make the blockchains more interoperable, um, Polkadot has introduced the concept of parachains, which lets the blockchain communicate with other blockchains and send real-time data to one another. So this is one of the major problems that is solved uh, by Polkadot. तो अब आपको समझ चुका है उसका टेक्नोलॉजी और उसका सॉल्यूशंस जो प्रोवाइड करता है रियल टाइम में वर्ल्ड को. नाउ लेट्स गो ऑन टू द टोकेनॉमिक्स. Polkadot की सर्कुलेटिंग सप्लाई देखो, पहले तो उसकी प्राइस है $27, विच इज अराउंड 100% डाउन फ्रॉम द ऑल टाइम हाइज. ऑल टाइम हाइज उसके थे अराउंड $54 के, $55 के. उसकी मैक्सिमम अभी टोटल सप्लाई है 1.1 बिलियन Polkadots. एंड यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट इट इज एन इन्फ्लेशनरी टोकन. उसका मतलब ये है कि द टोटल सप्लाई इज नॉट फिक्स्ड. एवरी ईयर ये टोटल सप्लाई बढ़ते जाएगा एट द रेट ऑफ 10%. द इन्फ्लेशन रेट इज 10%. So next year, 110 million Polkadots will be added in circulation. So you all must be thinking कि अगर circulating supply बढ़ती है तो price घटनी चाहिए, right? Yeah, that is demand and supply mechanisms. But hang on, there's a catch to it. Yes, total supply every year बढ़ती तो जाएगी, but still Polkadot would be deflationary, and this is why I say that, because अगर आप देखोगे तो Polkadot में 53% ऑफ द Polkadot इज स्टेक्ड. बेसिकली आपके पास Polkadot है, आप Polkadot को स्टेक करोगे तो आपको 14% या 13% एनुअली ज़्यादा Polkadots मिलेंगे. सो फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ यू हैव 100 dots right now and you stake it with the protocol, you'll get 114 dots by the end of the next year. And the stake dots are out of circulation for at least 28 days. They have a lock-in period of at least 28 days. So because of this, the supply in the supply in the market reduces, which in turn increases the price in the short term. ये हो गया शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए Polkadot का स्टेकिंग की वजह से सप्लाई कम होना. This helps to counterbalance the effect of increasing maximum supply of Polkadot. ठीक है. And another reason why I say that Polkadot will be inflationary is deflationary, I mean, is the parachain auctions. So basically ये जो parachains है, I said they are blockchains of their own, and in order to secure a blockchain into the relay chain, the blockchain has to lock in certain Polkadots. So suppose ये एक project है, suppose for example Moonbeam is already a protocol which is locked in the parachain, which has won the parachain auctions. तो ये parachain कैसे मिला उसको? What were the factors that decided that Moonbeam will get this slot? So ये parachains के auctions होते हैं, and auctions किस में होते हैं? The auctions happen in Polkadots. बेसिकली आप इंडिया में कुछ ऑक्शन करोगे तो आपको रुपीस देने पड़ेंगे, यूएस में कुछ ऑक्शन करोगे आपको डॉलर्स देने पड़ेंगे, पोल्काडॉट के इकोसिस्टम में कुछ ऑक्शन करोगे आप तो आपको पोल्काडॉट स्टेक करने पड़ेंगे या पोल्काडॉट लॉक करने पड़ेंगे. द प्रोजेक्ट दैट लॉक्स इन और ऑक्शंस द हाईएस्ट अमाउंट ऑफ पोल्काडॉट्स gets a parachain auction for itself, and it gets connected to the relay chain to share the security of the network. So basically अगर आप समझो एक ब्लॉकचेन नया है, एक प्रोटोकॉल नया है, उसके पास फंडिंग नहीं है, उसके पास इतने पैसे नहीं है, तो वो अपने पोल्काडॉट्स कहाँ से स्टेक करेंगे, कहाँ से लॉक इन करेंगे? यू हैव टू लॉक इन मिलियंस एंड मिलियंस ऑफ डॉट्स टू सिक्योर अ पैराचेन ऑक्शन. So what they do is they try and convince the public, normal public like you and me, कि हमारा blockchain best है and it deserves a spot on the Polkadot network. So if we believe in the project, we can borrow or we can lock in our Polkadots with these parachain auction competitors. Like for example, मैंने मेरा Polkadot Moonbeam को दे दिया for a period of 2 years. ये Polkadot lock हो गया for a period of 2 years in the parachain auctions. and if Moonbeam actually wins the auction and actually gets a slot in this parachain, तो उसके जो नेटिव टोकन्स रहेंगे वो मुझे मिलेंगे, एंड ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट आफ्टर 2 years I will also get all my Polkadot back. So it's a win-win for me if I really believe in the project for the long term and I believe in the Polkadot ecosystem for the long term. It makes sense for me to lock in my Polkadot in a parachain auction so that I get the native token of the blockchain itself, and I also get the Polkadots back after 2 years, and by that time the price would have appreciated, I'm sure. So because of this, the circulating supply of Polkadot reduces even more. So right now अगर आप देखो तो Polkadot के ये जो parachain auctions है, ये सब winners है first parachain auctions के, and the total Polkadot contributed or locked in was over 100 million Polkadots only for the first 5 parachains, और ऐसे 100 parachains fit हो सकते हैं एक साथ. So you can imagine that over the coming years, when the protocols actually develop and the auction process gets more and more complicated, I mean more and more competitive, sorry. तो वैसे वैसे Polkadot की सप्लाई जो है वो लॉक इन होती रहेगी, और वैसे वैसे करके और डिफ्लेशनरी होते जाएगा टोकन, which will even further drive the demand of this token. So Polkadot right now has a market cap of $30 billion, and its current price is $27 basically. So I expect कि if the bull run continues or in the coming few years, it can at least 3x from there. At least 100 billion market cap for Polkadot seems very doable in the coming future. And the best option for you is, if you are holding it for a long term, is to just take some of it and lock some of it in the parachain options. Also, another sign of a project being very good is following the developers, following the institutions, and following the team. These three boxes need to be checked in order to have confidence in a protocol. So Polkadot के founder कौन है? Polkadot is founded by Dr. Gavin Wood, who is the CTO, Chief Technology Officer, or the co-founder of Ethereum, and the founder of the Solidity language on which Ethereum runs. So Gavin Wood, Charles Hoskinson और Vitalik Buterin, ये तीनों ने मिला के Ethereum बनाया था a few years ago, and eventually they all split up. Charles Hoskinson ने Cardano project को find किया. Polkadot is founded by Gavin Wood, and all of them are trying to solve problems which Ethereum cannot solve, or has not been, or where Ethereum lagged behind basically. नया protocol था तो उसमें बहुत सारे inefficiencies थे. So those inefficiencies are being addressed by these protocols, namely interoperability and higher transaction speed. So Ethereum supports around 15 transactions per second, I think, give or take, while Polkadot supports 1000 transactions per second. Ethereum 2.0 आने के बाद the number of transactions per second handled by ETH 2.0 will increase to 1 lakh, and Polkadot promises to have 1 million transactions per second का speed in the coming future, but let's see if it's doable or not. The main problem solved by Polkadot, I said, is interoperability, and interoperability is very necessary for blockchains to develop mass scale adoption in the future. So ये तो टीम के बारे में हो गया. Now let's see the developers. अगर कोई प्रोटोकॉल है जिसमें डेवलपर्स ही कुछ मेहनत नहीं कर रहे हैं, so that's a warning sign कि the project could be in a downtrend in the future. तो ये डेवलपमेंट एक्टिविटीज है, डेवलपर एक्टिविटीज है ऑन Polkadot इन द लास्ट 3-4 years. 2018 में आप देख सकते हो ये डेवलपर एक्टिविटी थी which is steadily increasing year on year, and these are the number of lines of code added each year. So you know how steadily it's increasing over the years, which means more and more developers are coding on the Polkadot system, and there's more and more activity and improvement going on in the system as a whole. So follow the developers, and follow the team, and follow the institution. You see the number of developers, monthly developers since launch. Polkadot is leading the curve here as well. यहाँ पे Solana है, यहाँ पे Near protocol है, Avalanche है, Binance है, and here we go with Polkadot. It's leading the curve here as well. So यहाँ पे एक इलेक्ट्रिक कैपिटल करके एक VC है, उसके रिपोर्ट में देखो, they've written Polkadot, Solana, Near, Avalanche, Binance, and Terra are growing faster than Ethereum did at similar points in history, And the largest ecosystems are Ethereum, Bitcoin, Polkadot, Cosmos, Solana, etc., each with 250 plus monthly active developers. So again, this report confirms that the number of developers on the system or on the blockchain are very, very high and increasing every year. Um, Another way we can say if a project is good or not for the long term is to see if it has VC backing or not, venture capital or institutional backing or not, or institutional interest or not. तो ये देखो, ये मैसारी ने 44 आई थिंक 44 इंस्टीट्यूशनल इन्वेस्टर्स और वीसी इन्वेस्टर्स के फंड्स को ट्रैक किया था. And see who leads the curve over here. 19 out of those 44 institutions had invested in Polkadot, and the nearest one second is Terra Luna. So this confirms that institutional interest in Polkadot also has been high over the past few years. So institutional interest is high, developer activity is high, team is very, very strong, and it solves a real world problem, and it solves problems of interoperability and high transaction fees and lower speed, which is offered by Ethereum. So it can very well do in the future. It can very well have a market cap of $100 billion in the future. That's what I think. And this is just the bull case for Polkadot. I am extremely bullish on it. And one of the problems I see with Polkadot is that उसकी community और marketing इतनी strong नहीं है. If you see Cardano or if you see other protocols, उनकी community Twitter, Reddit वगैरह पे बहुत strong रहती है. Even though there are no dApps built on Cardano, even though there's nothing going on Cardano since the past few years, उनकी community और marketing जो है वो very strong है, which is missing in Polkadot, which is a cause of concern for me right now. But I think the positives outweigh the negatives for me. So I am personally invested in this protocol and I'm invested in this for the long term. So short-term fluctuations don't matter to me. I'm just gonna DCA in on every dip. तो TA करते हैं थोड़ा इसका. तो पहले .USDT का हम लोग weekly time frame खोलेंगे तो we see it's in a steady uptrend and it's been oscillating. It's been range bound for the past few times. इनके सपोर्ट्स और रेजिस्टेंसेस चार्ट कर रहे हो तो $10 पे एक सपोर्ट है, $20 पे एक सपोर्ट है एंड $50 अराउंड $50 इज द ऑल टाइम हाई. Right now the weekly RSI weekly stochastic is underbought, is oversold I mean, so it seems like a good time to buy in. But let's see the daily time frame. डेली टाइम फ्रेम पे अगर हम जाए तो हमें एक RSI की डाइवर्जेंस दिखाई दे रही है, where the RSI is going upwards, where the price has been going downwards. So in the short term we should see an upward push in the Polkadot prices. However, एक head and shoulders भी form हो रहा है अगर आप देखो तो. This is the shoulder, this is the head, this is the shoulder, which could give us a downside of Polkadot to around these ranges. But I think it is very unlikely, and this will happen only if Bitcoin falls to around $30,000 या कुछ. I think this is a good time to buy, especially for the fact कि अगर आप अभी buy करो और all time high तक भी price गया तो आपका capital जो है double हो जाएगा already, and it's a 3:1 almost 4:1 risk reward ratio. एंड इट्स अ प्रीटी सेफ बेट बिकॉज यहाँ पे देखो कितने सपोर्ट्स है. यहाँ पे एक मेजर सपोर्ट है. So the prices falling below these is extremely unlikely except if the whole market sentiment changes for Bitcoin. So long term के लिए as I said around $90-$100 Polkadot is very 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 doable. And yeah, this is my case for Polkadot. I'm also learning with all of y'all, and I am no professional. I've been in this space for around 8 months now, and I've been trying to learn as much as I can. So if y'all have any other points which y'all think I have missed out or I've been wrong about, please do let me know in the comments. And yeah, see you next time.